Let me sound a warning for everyone. As long as you're in Australia, if someone recommends building a granny flat to you, you must make sure the property has significant capital growth potential. Your land must have great development potential so that you can hold on to it, which will ensure your investment pays off. Why is that? Let me give you 2 reasons. Right now, many people are interested in granny flats. I just returned from a project for a client, and I have a lot of experience with this. On Xiaohongshu, after visiting the construction site, I helped our client build and manage their granny flat. So, should you build a granny flat or not? The first issue you need to be careful about is that many Chinese manufacturers and businesses are going overseas. In fact, I feel that I actually understand building and managing granny flats even better now. Even if you go ahead with this and eventually get the building permits and the OC, if your house unfortunately catches fire, and if you're not careful, you could end up being the guinea pig. You might not even be able to tell that the building materials you used weren't originally from Australia at all. Maybe they were processed in a 3rd or 4th tier city in China. People are trying to do this kind of thing. What are they thinking about? They want to bring doors, windows, and timber from China. So why do I say that many people have their priorities all wrong? They want to ship doors, windows, and timber to Australia because now they're very clever. They know that the exterior work can be made to look decent. That is, if you don't have our professional background, you can assemble it into a granny flat. I've even heard of more outrageous cases. If you find someone who quotes you $150,000 to build a 60 square meter granny flat, that's considered reliable. A lot of people have this mindset. Even though it's strange, driving a Tesla is so much better than building a granny flat yourself. With a down payment of just $100,000, well, after I post this video, who knows if it will get blocked? It's already been passed on to investors. It's just a very normal idea to have this kind of property in your portfolio. And I believe a lot of people are going to criticize me again because I'm cutting off someone else's source of income. But as a conscientious content creator, I think everyone really needs to keep their eyes open. I'm not saying you can't build a granny flat, but you need to ask clearly what building materials are being used and whether they're sourced locally. I sincerely hope you take this advice to heart. Some people engrave the Australian standard on the doors and windows or write Australian standard on the pipes with a marker. As for the property with the greatest potential for appreciation, does your house in this area really rank in the top 50% for appreciation potential, yet they still go ahead and build a granny flat? It's honestly hilarious, but this is something that actually happens. As a landlord, whether you're building a granny flat or making renovations to create a second income stream, the next step in becoming more sophisticated is not to put the cart before the horse. If something goes wrong, the landlord bears unlimited liability. In today's world, or even by 2026 when rental income is considered, it's like picking up a bargain. But that's not really the case. You must take a step back and look at the down payment for the property. Secondly, I've noticed that many people who come to me for advice about building a granny flat have a common problem. They're putting the cart before the horse. First of all, I don't recommend building a granny flat, so this is a very pointed issue. If you do build one, you must choose the right location. Otherwise, the money you spend might be better used to buy a positively geared house in a more remote area. Even I sometimes think if someone tells you that a small builder uses beneath materials and says that building a 60 square meter granny flat